so what I'm going to be showing you is how to set up for painting in the art room. This specifically is for the color wheel, but really for any time you use tempera paint. All right, all your materials are located over here. Right now it's a little bit of disaster because everyone didn't clean up properly. My 8th graders struggle with that. But we want to always make sure that we're leaving things cleaner than we found them. So one thing that you want to do is when you get a palette, make sure there isn't water in it. You might need to quickly dry it off with a paper towel because we don't want to water this paint down. We want to make sure that we have that nice vibrant color. We are going to be getting a handout. If I can just have somebody over there, there's a red bin in front of the table. Bring that handout over. Yep, perfect. And stop right there. Perfect. Thank you so much. Forgot that. So this is my reference handout for the color wheel where I'm going to get started. You only want to get the colors you need for any assignment with painting in the art room. Is you only want to get the colors you're focusing on that moment. You can always go back up to the paint buffet whenever you need more paint. So where I'm going to be starting is with yellow, and I'm going to need to make a tint and a shade. All right. So I'm going to need yellow, and I'm going to need white and black as well. What you are going to do is come on over here when you're getting the paint. Make sure that you angle the palette like this because if it splatters, push the pump really slowly. You only want about the size of a quarter. For some reason, the yellow is pretty watered down. I also need a little black and I need some white. Push the pumps slowly. You do not want to make a mess. Now, the brush size that you want to get is probably about this size. For tempera paint, you want to use the beige handled brushes. All right, these brushes are for tempera paint. I'm right-handed, so I set my paint up on my right side. 2 more things you need are paper towels. You have to dry off your brush every time you wash it. And I need a water container. How full should I fill the water container? Halfway. All right, you can always come get fresh water when you need it. So now that I have my workspace set up, I can go ahead and get started painting my color wheel. So if you're not doing the color wheel, you probably don't need to watch the rest of this video. You know how to set up your workspace with paint. You might just need to watch the how to clean up after painting in the art room video. So looking at our handout, on our handout we have a little star and it says number 1, we're going to start with yellow. What's really important with the color wheel is that each color has a relationship to its neighbors on the color wheel. So for example, if I'm looking at yellow, the color to the right is yellow-green, the color to the left is yellow-orange. They all have a relationship. And as you go around, if you look at green, the 2 colors next to green are yellow-green and blue-green. There's an important relationship there. You have to go in order. So I'm going to first start off with yellow for my starting point, and I'm going to get my nice vibrant yellow, and I'm going to work on my brush control of trying to stay in the lines, okay? Not that every assignment requires this of you, but this is a good time to practice your brush control. When you are done with the yellow, the next thing I need to do is I want to finish that whole pie slice, and I want to be able to create the yellow tint and the yellow shade. So I'm going to come over here and grab 2 big scoops of yellow, make a little puddle. I'm going to draw a line down the middle because half of it I'm going to mix with the white to make the tint, and half of it I'm going to mix with the black to make the shade. I tend to be a little bit of a messy painter. Some people prefer to wash their brush off in between each color. Others don't care. So I'm going to come over here, take a scoop of yellow, and I'm going to mix it with a little bit of the yellow here. You want to see a clear difference between the yellow and the yellow tint. All right, so here I'm mixing and I have a nice baby yellow tint here. Usually you might see it in the nursery. It's a subtle change. Yellow is a super weak color and white is even weaker, so it really takes a lot of white to make a difference. All right, so now I want to go ahead and wash my brush off, excuse me, and then dry it off because I do not want any white in my shade. Black is a super powerful color. I don't know if you saw, but I took 2 scoops of white to do the tint. I'm now gonna take a pin drop of black, very little amount of black on here, and mix it with my yellow paint. And you can see that little amount of black made a dramatic difference here with this color. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint in the shade. You're gonna continue this process throughout the color wheel till you're done. But I'm gonna show you one more, which is green. So now that I'm ready, yellow green. So I already have the yellow. I have stuff to make my tint and shade, but I have to get some more green paint. I come back up here to the paint buffet and I get some here. Now, if there's a lot of people up here at the paint buffet, you would start the line here and it curls around the other side, okay? And you can line up being about 3 feet apart. All right, so now we're gonna focus on yellow-green. We wanna go ahead, dry off our brush. I'm going to take 2 scoops of yellow because yellow is, again, a super weak color. I need a lot of it to make a little difference. And then I'm gonna come over here and get a little bit of green and mix it in with my yellow, and I get a beautiful yellow-green. If you have named this a designer color, it might be spring grass or key lime pie, something like that. You come up with your own designer name. I'm gonna paint in this yellow-green area, again, practicing on my brush control. I apologize for moving fast. I don't want to have the video run too long, so if you need to go back, pause it, rewatch it, feel free to do so. Washing my brush off, drying it off, and now I need to go ahead and create my tint. So again, remember I had my little line there. I'm gonna go ahead and grab some white paint, mix it in with a little bit of the yellow-green, so I get this yellow tint, yellow-green tint. Paint in my yellow-green tint. And finally, I need to end with the shade. You do not want any white in your shade. So again, I need to make sure I wash off my brush really well, getting all the white paint out of my brush, twirling the brush in my water container, drying it off with the paper towels, getting a little bit of black, because remember we said it's super powerful, mixing it in with my yellow-green, making sure not to get that tint in there, and finally ending with painting that last section. So that is the process of the color wheel. Right now I'm going to end this video, and you need to watch the cleanup video with Paint in the Art Room next.